Tonight on NewsCenter, Career Services talks about their upcoming events. NewsCenter catches up with an alum to talk about their current activities. The Campus Activities Board hosts Midnight in the Mountains for the second year. And the MSU women's basketball team has their senior night. All of this and more tonight on NewsCenter.
Good evening and welcome to the NewsCenter. I'm Logan Rout.
And I'm Clay Wallace.
Here's what's making headlines for February 27th, 2020.
NewsCenter met with Career Service member Jacob Murphy for a little PSA about future career opportunities for students at Morehead State.
On Monday, March 2nd, we will have one called Win at Your Career, Win at the Career Fair. This will be a webinar that tells you a little bit about how to do well if you're coming to the career fair, whether you've been there before or whether that you have never been. It's a good opportunity to learn a little bit about the career fair. Also, we have another one coming up on Wednesday, March 11th at 12 p.m. And that one's called Interview Like a Pro. So you will learn some tips on how to interview for your next job. And we would appreciate any alumni to tune in. It's a great opportunity. You can sit down at your lunch and listen in to learn a few things.
No, I don't think so. I think we got it. Okay.
Please just keep a watch out on our social media. You can find us on Facebook at MSU Career and on Twitter at MSU_Career Center and on Instagram at MSU_Career Center as well. We'll have those advertised along with the links. Please feel free to tune in.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders calls Trump a pathological liar and a racist, citing him as the most dangerous president in modern-day history. After facing his Democratic opponents at the debate in North Charleston on Tuesday, Sanders aimed fire at Trump, believing the president is his ultimate electoral opponent. The Democratic officials don't believe that Bernie can have the Democratic Party come together to oust Trump. Sanders declares he was the only one that could energize new voters. Young supporters who've already voted in the polls have showed heavy support for Sanders during the early Democratic primary election.
Morehead State University Public Radio will be hosting a Brews and News spring fundraiser at the Sawstone Brewery on Saturday, February 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. Live music will take place as well as news trivia and locally crafted beer will be served during the event. Door prizes will also be held, which will allow people to have the chance to win CDs, free t-shirts, and other prizes. For more information on the event, contact MSPR General Manager Paul Hitchcock at p.hitchc@moreheadstate.edu or dial 606-783-2334.
Many students joined SGA for a dance marathon at the Rec. NewsCenter's Jason Hall gives us more information on the event.
Midnight in the Mountains is a 6-hour dance marathon at Morehead State. Many activities take place in this event, such as dodgeball, basketball, and giveaways all throughout the night. President for Campus Involvement, Connor Tilford, says that Midnight in the Mountains is a time for students to come and have fun, but also recognize the importance of giving back. The money raised for this event went to Eagle Essentials, Eagle Emergency Loan Fund, and the Eagle Share Fund. SGA wants to create an environment for students to have fun and to let loose. If you missed it this year, be sure to come out next year. For NewsCenter, I'm Jason Hall.
I'm here with Jason Hall. Jason, can you tell us what the weather is going to be like this week?
The next 2 days, there's going to be a few flurries. It's going to be cloudy. It's going to get a little bit higher into the week. It's going to get into the 60s, but with the good weather, always comes rain here in Morehead. So, yeah.
I wish I could expect something else.
I know. I wish it could just be sunny and warm, but that's just...
Always going to have rain.
Yes,
Kentucky.
always going to have rain here, definitely.
Always.
All right.
When we get back, we have an interview with a member from the Order.
come on down to your one-stop place for anything you need on campus. The bookstore is your place to get any school supplies or art supplies that you might need. After that, you can head upstairs to grab a bite to eat. If you need to study or hold a meeting, go to the third floor for a quiet place to sit. So head on down to ADUC. We'll see you soon.
Hi, I am here with Trey Davidson, a member from the Order, a club here at Morehead State University. Trey, can you tell us what the Order is?
All right, so the Order is a on-campus organization that I would describe as theatrical dueling because, well, most of our practices are meant practicing forms and whatnot, but also it is mainly choreographed so that we, of course, don't hurt each other. Mm-hmm. And well, that's all because we have multiple different types of forms and fighting styles that we use because it's all taken straight out of Star Wars.
Okay.
So we just, and the theatrical part, again, is just like the wow part.
So this is something that's been interested me because I've seen your groups fighting on campus and all sorts of things. So when you are doing those, is there any sort of correlation to real life, like dueling styles?
Well, one of our forms, Makashi, is based off of fencing.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't think so, no.
That's cool.
But Makashi, because it's in like the prequels, I don't know, the actor who mainly used it was a fencer. Mm-hmm. And it is mainly prized off that. One of our main members, though, even also used to fence, mm-hmm. and it's just practically fencing.
I'd imagine that a lot of the physical exercise about it is the same. What gained your interest specifically in joining the Order at Morehead?
Well, I'm a big old nerd. I was kind of really like swinging around a big old glow stick at my friends.
What color is your lightsaber?
Green, because where I got it, they sent me a random color.
I love it. Okay.
I also have a lilac one, because lilac's a pretty color.
Now, what activity, you answered this a bit earlier, but what activities do you all do? Do you meet outside of that, or is it mostly the choreographed fighting?
Mainly, we meet twice a week, 3 hours each. On Tuesdays, it's just general practice, where we just each individual practices the forms that they're working on. I think we have like 9 or so. I'd have to take time to count. Thursdays, we alternate between RP, where it's more of the theatrics get in, mm-hmm. we just role play, and then every other Thursday, newer members go through what we call a trial to become a higher rank.
All right.
And then be able to learn then more forms.
So there's storytelling along with this too.
Yes.
Like this isn't like just simple, not to say fencing is simple, but it's got a little bit more intricacy than that. Because you all, adopt characters, adopt roles, things like that?
Yes.
That's fun. Okay.
It's also where the theatrics come in.
Are there certain requirements that you need to be a member there?
Not particularly, because it is a MSU organization, but we even have like alumni who still show up, outside people. We let the craft kids come in. They just have to sign a waiver from the parents.
All right. Well, if someone is interested in joining your group, who would they need to contact?
Our president is Eric Carter, and the vice president is Alora Chesney. But we are also on, I think it's called EagleLink.
EagleLink. All right.
Yes.
So if you're interested, check them on EagleLink. Thank you so much for joining me today, Trey. I really appreciated this conversation. And we'll be back with more news after the break.
Welcome to Addicts Anonymous. Please state your name and why you're here today.
I'm Mitchell O'Neill, and I'm addicted to toys.
My name is Mindy Brooke. I'm 19 years old, and I'm addicted to pencils.
My name is John Talon, and I'm addicted to Chick-fil-A chicken sandwiches.
Introducing the Chick-fil-A Chicken Sandwich, located on the second floor of ADUC at Morehead State University. A sandwich made with tasty hand-breaded chicken seasoned to perfection. Only at Chick-fil-A. Feed your addiction.
Hey everybody, I'm Jason Hall, and this is what's happening this week for the weather in Morehead. So currently in Morehead, it is 32, there are clouds, and there is some snowing, just a few flurries. The humidity is 53, and the winds are 12 miles per hour. For the temperature map, in Paducah it is 44, in Bowling Green it is 44, Louisville is 30, Frankfort is 30, London is 30, Lexington is 29, being at the lowest, Morehead is 32, and Ashland is 31. For tonight's forecast, there'll be a few clouds and a few flurries tonight, but not enough for us to have school out, so the low will be 19, there's 0% precipitation, and the sunset is at 6:24 p.m. Tomorrow's forecast will be cloudy, a few flurries yet again. The high is 47, and the sunrise will be at 7:16 a.m. For the Morehead 7-day forecast, today is 32, it's cloudy, and there are a few flurries. Friday, it'll be 40, cloudy with a few snow showers, and the low is 20. Saturday, we will see some sun, but the temperature will stay the same with the low being 29. Sunday, the temperature will jump up being 60, sunny with some clouds. Monday, it'll be 57, cloudy with light rain. Tuesday will be 60 with rain showers, and Wednesday will be 59 and partly cloudy. That's all for the weather. Let's go to Monet for sports.
Morehead State University's basketball teams played at Johnson Arena this past Saturday against Tennessee State. The men's team won against TSU with a score of 63-66. James Baker was the lead scorer with 21 points, with Dryman Henson right behind him holding 14 points. The Lady Eagles also won against their rival. I met up with senior Jaleesa Avery to get insight from the women's game.
The Morehead State Eagles basketball team celebrated their senior night this past Saturday at the Johnson Arena, facing off Tennessee State. Morehead's women's team won against TSU with a final score of 69-60. Jasmine Elston was the lead scorer with 19 points, while Jaleesa Avery got a career-high 14 rebounds. I met up with Jaleesa to get insight on what it's like to be a senior and preparation for the game.
We prepared for the game by watching film, practicing against our scout team, meeting our posts at the free throw line. We've also been working on coming off the screens with our hands above the ball to protect the three, and working on not walling up so quick but keep our feet moving while doing so. Being a senior feels a little bit emotional just because you know it's your last go around. But at the same time, there's business to handle, so you can't let those emotions affect your game.
Finds Avery right block for two, and it bounces in.
For NewsCenter, this is Monet McLaughlin.
Smile on her face as she comes.
This is Charlie. Charlie wakes up and gets ready for class like most students. But Charlie doesn't have breakfast. Charlie feels unfulfilled. This is Nick. Nick gets up and gets ready as well, but Nick makes breakfast and feels great. Don't skip the most important meal of the day. Eat breakfast.
Popular amusement park Kings Island has started testing out their new ride that is planned to open to the public in April. The new ride, named Orion, is one of the only few Giga coasters in the world. This means it has a drop of almost 400 feet. This ride will be Kings Island's tallest and fastest ride.
Lynyrd Skynyrd will be performing at the Appalachian Wireless Arena in Pikeville on Friday, May 8th at 7 p.m. Last of the Street Survivors will be the band's final tour. Ticket prices will range from $35 to $351. The band members include Johnny Van Zant, brother to Ronnie Van Sant, and Gary Rosington, who were the original founding members of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Travis Tritt will be opening for the band. For more information on the tickets, go to Ticketmaster or StubHub.com.
Tuesday, February 25th was National Pancake Day at all IHOP locations. While people were excited to receive free pancakes, the IHOP in Lexington had an option to give back. Free pancakes were given away from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., and their motto was to have a flapjack for the kids, with 100% of the proceeds going to UK's Children's Hospital, a local children's miracle hospital in Lexington.
This past Monday, MSU's Campus Activity Board held a celebration for Mardi Gras. NewsCenter was there.
So this event has some very traditional culture food from New Orleans. We have some rice and beans and sausage, and then we have king cake. And king cake is kind of like a cinnamon roll dessert with icing on top. And in a couple of pieces of the cake, there's little babies placed, which I found. And if you get the cake with the baby inside of it, that means you have good luck. And the mask is just to decorate yourself to get into the festivities of Mardi Gras. I'm actually very grateful and excited because I didn't really expect all the different types of people to come out. I just really expect the students to like stop by, but to see the faculty and the employees who work at Ada stop by and enjoy the food and enjoy the festivities, it made me feel really good. It made me feel like everybody was included, so that was the goal.
I really didn't know much about Mardi Gras. I don't know. I've never been to New Orleans. I've heard people talk about it, but I've never been able to experience that for myself. And I was like, this was a good low-key kind of way to get introduced to the culture, the food, and some of the things that they would like to do when they're down there for the celebration. I would say that this event is actually really good to get to know some of parts of culture that are in America, because we have so many cultures that combine and come together and that are able to cohabitate and grow together and merge with each other and take on new aspects of what other celebrations might be.
In January, the head basketball coach for Nichols County was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer. The Nichols County community rallied for Coach Travis Sims, and the basketball team had a fundraiser raising over $2,000 for their coach. At the start of the district tournament Tuesday, they had a silent auction to raise money for Coach Sims, and while there is no word on how much money they raised, Coach is already making plans to join his team on the bench for the 2020 season. There's more news after the break.
For students pursuing a career in the medical health field, come check out the new MSU Share Building. The Share Building is located right below St. Clair Hospital on Fleming Avenue. This building will offer students the chance to further their understanding of medical health and prepare them for a future with state-of-the-art hands-on classes.
All EC 300 units, be advised, car crash off of University Boulevard. Occupant is unresponsive.
Morehead State University Theater is presenting one of Shakespeare's most well-known tragedies next week. Hamlet will be shown at 7:30 p.m. on March 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, and on March 8th at 2 p.m. The show will be open at the Lucille Cottle Little Theater in Breckenridge Hall. Tickets will be free to all MSU students with an ID and are $11 for non-MSU students and $6 for seniors.
Now it's time to catch up with an Eagle alumni. NewsCenter met with Debbie Weiner to talk about her business, Glassy Mountain Art.
Glass medium is something that is so interesting because you can paint with paint. So you can paint with oil, you can paint with enamels on this glass and then fire it to about 1450 degrees. The possibilities are endless when you work with glass. My twin sister, Dreamer Marino, she made these beautiful wind chimes. So one day I asked her to show me how to make them. And I started by just making a few wind chimes, which that's all she ever made before. And I started making different things out of glass. I just love that medium to work with. So I make wind chimes, solar lit wind chimes, soap dishes. I take antlers, deer antlers that they've dropped in the forest. Of course, that's where I am, in the forest. And I take the antlers, drill holes in them, and make wind chimes. And I also make all kinds of ornaments at Christmas. I work in my glass studio, my husband says, sometimes 8 to 10 hours a day. So recently, I have placed some of my glass in two shops. One is the Folk Art Center, and one is Simply Kentucky off Flemingsburg Road. I like the fact that when you're working with glass, you can do any color you want. You can add colors to colors. You can add tiny pieces of frit to what you're working. You can add paint to what you're working with. You can cut it in all kinds of shapes. It's endless what you can do with glass.
MSU students had the opportunity to attend the Spring Career and Internship Fair from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Wednesday, March 4th in the ADUC Ballroom. At MSU's Career Fair, students can connect with more than 100 employers and graduate programs while learning about full-time and part-time jobs, internships, co-ops, and summer jobs. Students who attend the Career and Internship Fair will also have the chance to receive a free professional headshot that they can use on their LinkedIn page and other social media accounts.
Morehead State University has been named a military-friendly school for the 2020-2021 school year. Director of Military Initiatives, Dr. Silas Session, says MSU will continue to provide top-rated support for our veterans and military-dependent students across our campus to the greatest extent. Additional information for veterans, National Guardsmen, and reservists, go to moreheadstate.edu/veterans. That's all the news we have for you this week.
Tune in next week for your weekly news update.